Hi once again everyone. So today we are going to start with Unit 3, and Unit 3 is about the wonders of the world. So in today's video you will see the superlative form of adjectives. So far you have seen adjectives, the comparatives, and now you will see how to form the superlative form of adjectives. You will also learn how to use superlatives with nouns and also build a little of your vocabulary about human natural wonders. You will also learn how to use superlatives for emphasis when we would like to talk about something outstanding in particular. Now to start off, I want you to see this sentence, and this is a natural wonder of the world. So do you know that Mount Everest is the highest mountain in the world? I repeat, Mount Everest is the highest mountain in the world. As you can see, the adjective is high, and when I make it into a superlative, I use highest, high plus est. Similarly, if you look at this slide, the river Nile is the longest river in the world. The adjective is long and the superlative is longest. How about this slide? The Grand Canyon, Colorado, is the widest canyon in North America. The adjective is wide and the superlative is widest. Do you know that the Atacama Desert is the driest desert in the world? The Atacama Desert is the driest desert in the world. The adjective is dry and the superlative is driest. Now please note that the adjective is dry and it ends with a Y. So when we make a superlative, we will remove the Y and add IEST at the end of the adjective to convert it into a superlative. Okay? The Pacific Ocean is the deepest ocean in the world. The adjective is deep and the superlative is deepest. The white shark is the most dangerous animal in the sea. Now, as you note, the adjective dangerous has more than 2 syllables, which is why we use the most dangerous and not dangerousest. This cannot exist. So the white shark is the most dangerous animal in the sea. So how do you make a superlative? First, why do you need a superlative? A superlative is used when we compare more than 2 things or people, and when we want to compare them and show that they are the best or they are the most outstanding or they are something special. You must add est to a regular adjective, but do not forget to add the at the end of the adjective to make it a superlative. For example, you can see here, big is the adjective, bigger would be the comparative, and biggest is the superlative form. So if I say that the elephant is the biggest animal in the animal kingdom, that means I am giving the elephant the biggest quality. Okay? Now look at the following example. The slide shows you a group of animals, a few animals. You have the chicken, you have the duck, you have a pig, Then you also have the sheep, you have a horse, and you have a cow. So if you see, they are rated from the smallest to the biggest. Okay? For example, in this case, the adjective is small, and smallest will be the most small animal in the group. In this group, the chicken is the smallest animal. Right? The chicken is the smallest animal. And big, bigger, biggest in this case is the cow. Okay? So if you have to compare it, you will compare it to show the most outstanding or the most special, the special quality of the thing or an animal or whatever you want to describe. So the chicken is the smallest animal in the group, and the cow is the biggest animal in the group. Superlative generally means that it's a thing or a person that is outstanding. They have the most special quality. For example, encebollado is the most popular dish of Guayaquil. In this case, with the adjective popular, you will add the most to make it into a superlative, okay? Or to convert it into a superlative. Now let's see some rules to make a superlative. You make superlatives in 3 ways. The first one is when it's a one-syllable adjective. For example, old. Old is 1 syllable. Big is 1 syllable. So you add est in the end of the adjective. Old becomes the oldest. Similarly, when you have 2-syllable adjectives, you use est or you use most. Okay? Happy, you can say the happiest or the most happy. Both are correct. This is the case when you have adjectives with 2 syllables. Now, what happens if you have more than 2 syllables? In this case, you will use the most plus the adjective. In this case, you can use popular as an adjective, and the superlative becomes the most popular. And what about irregular adjectives with superlatives? Now, some adjectives like good and bad are irregular adjectives. So you will not say good, the goodest, or bad, the baddest. That does not exist grammatically in English, and it is not correct either. Hence, you will use good and the best, bad and the worst as the superlatives. Okay. Now let's see a few adjectives that are regular, and they can be made or they can be formed in the following manner. High, the superlatives becomes the highest. Big, the superlative becomes the biggest. Deep, the superlative becomes the deepest. Long, the superlative is the longest. Short, the shortest. Sad, the saddest. Now, if you note, with big and sad, we used double G's and double D's. Why? This happens when your adjective has a vowel and a consonant at the end. So big is formed with B-I-G. I is right before the consonant G, so you will double the G and then put EST. Similarly, sad, S-A-D, A is the vowel and D is is the consonant. So you will double the consonant, you will double the D and put EST. This is a spelling rule that you have to follow in superlatives while making superlatives and even comparatives. So when a word has a vowel in the middle and it ends with a consonant, you double the consonant and put EST. Now let's look at some irregular adjectives. We've done this before, but I will repeat it again. So the irregular adjective is something like good. The superlative becomes the best. Bad, and the superlative is the worst. Far, and the superlative is the farthest or the furthest. These are a few irregular adjectives that we will use while making superlatives. Okay. Now, moving forward, I'm going to show you 2 video clips, and in those clips you will see people talking about the adjective and the superlative. So you will see the first clip in which you have a conversation between a brother and a sister, and they are talking in superlatives. They are describing people in superlatives. In the second video, you will see people talking about their favorite person or the person that they know using superlatives. So let's watch the video, and the activity comes at the end.
I think your friend Margaret is very smart.
She certainly is. She's the smartest person I know.
She's also very kind. Don't you think so?
Absolutely. She's the kindest person in my class.
You know, she's also very friendly.
You're right. She's probably the friendliest person in the school.
And she's very funny.
I know. Everybody says she's the funniest kid in the 10th grade. Andrew?
Yes?
Do you like Margaret?
Well, I like everybody.
Come on, Andrew. You know what I mean. Do you like Margaret? I mean, do you really like her?
Well...
After all, she is the smartest, kindest, friendliest, and funniest person I know.
Well, I guess I like her a little.
I think you like her a lot. I'll introduce you to her tomorrow.
You will?
Sure. And you know why?
Why?
'Cause you're the nicest brother in the whole wide world.
Ah.
I think your grandmother is very energetic.
She certainly is. She's the most energetic person I know.
She's also very talented.
You're right. She's the most talented person in our family.
She's also very generous.
Absolutely. My grandmother is probably the most generous person in the whole world.
Excuse me, young man. I just found this wallet. It has a lot of money in it. And the picture on this driver's license looks like you. Is it yours?
She's also very honest.
She certainly is. She's the most honest person I know.
Your grandmother's incredible.
She's the greatest.
Who is one of your favorite people?
My wife. She's very nice, and she's very intelligent. In fact, she's the nicest and most intelligent person I know.
My husband. He's a very friendly guy. He's also very funny. As a matter of fact, he's the friendliest and funniest person I know.
One of my favorite people? My mother. She's a very kind person, and she's very patient. Come to think of it, she's probably the kindest and most patient person I know.
My English teacher. Like, she's really smart, and she's so interesting. Everybody thinks she's the smartest and most interesting teacher in our school.
My favorite person in the whole wide world is my grandfather. He's the most honest, the most generous, and the most handsome man I know. He's really wonderful, and I love him a lot.
Now for the activity, what do you have to do? I hope you enjoyed the video. For the activity this week, after watching the video, you have to think of one person in your life who means a lot to you, who is very special. And you have to describe them using 3 superlatives that you heard in the video. Remember, you have to describe one person using 3 superlatives that you heard in the video. For example, you can say something like, my sister is the most sweetest person in the world. She is the most generous and the most affectionate person I know. She is the most helpful and the most understanding too. Okay, this is my example. Now, remember, you will hear a lot of superlatives used in the videos. You have to describe one person in your life and use 3 superlatives that you hear in the video. Okay? So, I wish you good luck for the activity, and like always, in case you have any questions, please, you can always write to me, and I will definitely mail you back immediately. So see you next time in class. Bye bye.